All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Dude, this room is ridiculous. I just sneezed like 7 times in a row. I'm not even kidding, man. I sneezed like 7 times. I just sat down. You can kind of tell I'm stuffy. My God, will this open up? My God. Oh my God, dude. YouTube does not want me to get into my own live stream. Come on, YouTube. Dude, this app is so whack, dude. All right, let's go ahead and close the whole app down. Shut it down. I just sneezed like 7 times. I hated it here. This is the pollen room for sure, man. I don't know what causes it to be this way, but this is the pollen room. I gotta mute already. Hold on. All right, we're back. Horrible in here. What the hell? Was it just like a big cloud of pollen? I didn't sneeze all day, and then I sat down in this chair and immediately started sneezing. All right, we're back. We are back. It's Tuesday. Another day's gone by. Another day, another dollar. People are working hard and thinking about the Pokemon cards they want in their collection. I think about the card I want in my collection all the time. What about you guys? We are? I shouldn't whistle. I've listened to the whistle in the playback on the live stream. Whistling sounds terrible. All right. Hot breaks. Hot Tuesday breaks. And, tariffing my Pokemon cards at 100%. What else is interesting today? Dandadan selling out. Alright, Dandadan selling out. That's true. Hot Tuesday breaks. The stock market. You think the stock market's down? Alright, here we are. Monday nighttime stream. This is going to be the Tuesday daytime stream here. We're live for Tuesday. Do-do-do-do-do. I've heard this song like a million times, bro. Time to turn this music off. I don't know about this music. What do you guys feel about this music? Ah, thank God, dude. How about that music, huh? So, let's turn on some other music. We got Pokemon music. We got, man, I'd love to play some Nine Inch Nails music. The problem is, if we play music like that, we will be demonetized or worse. How about some Animal Crossing? We haven't done Animal Crossing in a while. Is it going to suck? It's alright. This is Minecraft music. I'm sorry, this is Animal Crossing with rain. How about just Animal Crossing OST? Let's see. How about best Animal Crossing playlist? Place it? Okay, let's try this. Chill Day Music Compilation. Okay, cool. We got a little Animal Crossing going, guys. This is the daytime stream for Tuesday. Traditionally not a very busy day of the week. So we'll probably run for about an hour, and tonight's stream might be a little shorter too. I'm a bit behind on things. I need to work on Andrew Mercer's problem. He gave me an old address. He didn't update. Well, he didn't update to a new address is the real problem. So we shipped his cards to an old address. I'm going to write them a message asking them to return them for a reward. That's my plan. And then I'll mail them a return label and then tell them I have a cash reward for them. Because, you know, that's what we do when things get misshipped. We do a cash reward if you help us return it. And then, yeah, what do I have? I have to work on LaFlame. I got a bunch of eBay shipping to do. There's restocks. I need to do restocks. I could probably work on that live. I need to get the custom vintage packs totally restocked. And I still need to do the BGS, PSA, tag grading, CGC submissions. So we're behind on submissions. For you, what that means is if you can get a card submitted right now, your turnaround time's excellent because it's going to go out any day now. You got any Versus collection slabs, perchance? Perchance. You would do... Yo, would you do quantity over quality? For example, 4 Cyber Judge Korean or 2 Terra Festival Korean? There's some kind of calculation, I'm sure, where you buy the most optimal product for a flip. That's what your real question is. You don't understand. Maybe you don't know to think of it that way, but your question is, what is the equation where my money goes the furthest? Right? That's what you're really asking. That's what your question is. And right now, there's some product on our menu that makes you the most money to open. I don't really know what that product is for sure. Maybe nobody does, but that's because the market conditions change all the time. So like right now, maybe it's prismatic. Maybe you should be opening English prismatic. It's really expensive, but maybe the Umbreon, if you pull that and it sells for 3,000, maybe that's your best choice. But the odds are pretty hard in prismatic. So maybe it's something with a guaranteed pull in it. Maybe something like, what's a set with the guaranteed pull? Oh yeah, maybe these mother effers right over here. So like these right here. These are the illustration contest winners. These are $20 a pack. You probably don't have this. So this is $20, and if you buy a pack, you get all 3 of them, and maybe you grade all 3 of them. Maybe that's the best use of your next $20. You don't know. Maybe you buy some Poke Shuffles and pull a nice slab out of there just because you're lucky. But the calculation should account for luck as well, correct? So if you want to talk about, accounting for luck as well, maybe this Mewtwo Alt-Art. So it's 40 times 7, that's your odds. And maybe those odds are way better because they already include it being a 10. Maybe those odds are way better than trying to pull this card out of a Pokemon Go EDB. Maybe this Mewtwo goes up in price over time. Maybe this guy's overpriced because of the rocket hype. Who knows? Maybe this guy's underpriced. So nobody really knows what the best, most optimal use of their money is. That's why typically you kind of go with your gut a little bit and you kind of pick out the things that you want. So if you feel a drive to have something, so, if you ask yourself, what set has the card that I want in it, just go do that. If the only thing you want is to get rich, well, what you need to do is increase your hours at your job and apply for higher paying jobs or pick on a second job. So if you want to get rich, that's what you do. If you want to get rich as a card shop, well, then you need to start working on being an expert in the market. So, yeah. So those are different ways to look at it. Are you just trying to make money in the hobby? Go be a card shop. If you just want to make money in general, get more hours. Get a new job. YouTube informed me a bit late. No, we just started. 8 minutes in. 6 minutes ago. Oh, boy. I sure hope I don't get hosed on my PSA submission. Oh, yeah. I made an announcement. I got the email from PSA. It's on my phone. I'm going to announce the cards that got overcharged. Are you ready? Approval required. All right, you ready? So here goes. I can also talk about grades. Looks like this is the submission with the double Pikachu SAR in it, or SIR. I think those are LaFlame's cards. We're going to go over to submissions. So let's find out which submission that was. That was LaFlame with the double Pikachu, right? Scrolling up. Wow, those are really old. Wait a second. Where's the submission? February, January. Booster pack. Oh, here it is. Crown Kachu. Okay, so yeah, those are LaFlames. Oh, he had a lot. Big December submission with the one with lots of vintage. All right, so here goes. So the first 3 cards are 9s. Mine and Plusle, Crown Kachu. So yes, one Crown Kachu got a 9. The second one got a 10, and it has a massive $75 upcharge. 75. And the Pikachu 9 has a $5 upcharge. Why even bother? Why would PSA go through that? So they're like, nah, mother effer, you're paying that. So most upcharges look to be about just $5. It's not a huge deal. But Crown Kachu is a $75 upcharge. We have, let's see. So he got a 10 on one of them, and then a 10 on Terra Festival Umbreon Special Art. That was one of the $5 upcharges. Next, we have some Final Fantasies. Lightning Full Art. There's a Sarah Full Art that is not an upcharge, but that got a 10 too. Fearin Beyond Journey's End. Mage Fern Signature. That got a $5 upcharge. So the upcharges are just $5. This was like a special that I submitted through, and they're just upcharging 5. So let's see. EV Heroes Full Art Umbreon VMAX Hyper is a $5 upcharge. HoloLive Official Card Game Blooming Radiance is a $5 upcharge. Here's the crazy one. I submitted some gray felt hat Pikachus. They all got 9s, and they all got a $5 upcharge. They're 9s. They're upcharging the 9s, guys. So yes, there's 5 9s that got upcharged. 4 of them were mine. One of them was LaFlame's Pikachu, Crown Pikachu. And then the $75 upcharge is the Pikachu Crown 10. Jesus, dude. But most upcharges were just $5. And it's just like, stupid, dude. It's stupid. Why would they do that? I don't know. PSA making so many changes lately. I'll buy one of those 9s from you, mister. Sure. Well, I'm tempted to crack them and resubmit them to like CGC. But we'll take a look at them when they come back. All right. So there you have it. A lot of bad grades in that submission, by the way. Just like the previous PSA submission, this submission had a lot of bad grades. I'm going to see it again. Send those orders in, guys. We're having a daytime stream. Looks like I submitted my German Pokemon cards. German Ho-Oh, Magcargo, Giorak, Wati, and Remoraid. Here's how they graded. Ready? 8.5, 8, 9, 9, 9. Rick and Morty Season 1 sketch card, 8. That's a sketch card. That doesn't matter. Looks like I got some 10s on some carefully chosen holos. I sent them a couple holos. Those are supposed to be cheap cards I was grading so that we have some cheap cards. But look at this. Spanish Reverse Foil Shroomish got an 8. Spanish Hariyama Reverse Foil got an 8. That's a sketch card. Those don't count. EX Hidden Legends Jirachi got a 9. Regice got a 9. Those were Brandon's cards, which I believe he traded back to me for store credit. But they both just got 9s. So he didn't lose out on too much. It's ridiculous, dude. Those were nice looking cards, too. Did you notice the Plusle and Minum also got 9s at the beginning of the order? Here it is, Japanese Terror Festival Groudon. I think that's just a holo. That got a 9. I see some 10s. There are some 10s. They are holographic cards and nothing else. They're Japanese modern holo cards, and those got 10s. And it's just kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Like, that's what your card has to be now, a Japanese modern Pokemon card to get a 10. I hate it. I don't want to grade with PSA. The grading is too strict. It reminds me of BGS. If I want to grade like BGS, I'll grade with BGS because they'll give me a black label sometimes. I don't want PSA grading to feel like BGS. Jungle Pikachu 9, Dark Alakazam 9, Dark War Turtle 9, Dark Gloom 9, Rocket Oddish 8. Oh, here we go. Here's Neo Discovery Voltilam 7. What's this one? Sherox Holo German 7. So I sent them a Neo Discovery Vintage Holo, and it got a 7. A 7. Not an 8, not a 9, a 7. Pack fresh, it's a 7. Yeah, I'm done. Hidden Legends Groudon Box Topper Holo 8. That was the Hidden Legends box topper, remember that? I don't think I was anticipating a 10 on that one. But it didn't get a 9, it got an 8. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with PSA, screw them. They're going to have BGS style grading. I'll grade with BGS. Ridiculous, dude. How can they be so crazy? They've clearly changed their grading standards to be like BGS. You're not trying to get a PSA 10 anymore. You're trying to get a PSA pristine 10. So they're trying to get us to the pristine level. That's fine, but they need to call it a pristine 10 then. And if they're not going to call it pristine 10, if they're going to call it Gem 10, I'm out. I'm going to other companies that call it pristine because I want what I'm paying for. I don't want to waste my time on a bunch of 9s. And if it's going to be pristine 10, it better say pristine 10 so people know that it was really harsh grading. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm done with PSA for a while. I think I will 100% just be sending like 3/4 of my cards to other companies. I think the poker cards will still go to PSA because I don't think people are comfortable enough with the poker cards that they're ready for CGC poker and they're ready for BGS poker. I think the PSA brand lends some authenticity to the poker cards, makes them seem more real, more valuable. So poker cards will keep going to PSA probably. Most other stuff, we're going for Black Label. We're going for CGC Pristine 10s. We're going to go for CGC Gem Mints and 9.5s. and maybe some tag grades just for fun. You guys seem to like tags, so we're going to do a little tag grading just to keep up with them. That's the strategy now. It's going to be tag, CGC, BGS. Wait, what month submission are you speaking of? That is the December submission. Huge uptick in thick BGS slabs incoming. TCCG would never. Make TCC grading great again. Do you think CGC is now the primary way to go with PSA acting like a jerk? Yeah. Well, it's the primary way to go with your vintage cards. See, like this Dark Houndoom? See how it's a CGC 10? Maybe this would have been a PSA 9. There's no PSA 9.5. They don't do 9.5. Yeah, look at the, there's a little off-centering on the top, right? Maybe that. So with PSA being so strict, you either get a pristine 10 or PSA 9. There's no middle grade. You know, what if you have a weak 10? Well, it's a vintage card. I think the grading standards on vintage cards are slightly nicer because they're old, they're rare, and they've been worn out. And so in general, most people are willing to accept a grading scale that slides with its status as a vintage card. People are not expecting a perfect 10 on a card printed 25 years ago. This is 2004. This is a 21-year-old card. They weren't using modern grading. They weren't using modern printing techniques. These are vintage printing techniques. So we don't care about perfect 10 vintage cards. You don't have to have a perfect card. It just has to be relatively good to all the other vintage cards. So a relatively good 10. We don't want it to be impossible to get 10s on vintage. So yeah, PSA's out, man. I like them. They're a great company. All they have to do is edit their standards slightly down. I think they have to come out and say, hey, you know, we heard the feedback. We heard that it was too strict. And so what we'd like to do is return to having a gem mint grade, not a pristine grade. But it makes no sense to me that they went this way anyways. They were the leaders in card grading precisely because people did not want the harsh grading at BGS. They rejected BGS. It was too harsh. So most grading went to PSA. So they became the leader for that. Now their grading feels like BGS. Well, then why am I grading at PSA? Because BGS is black label. So yeah, they're out, man. They're out. I'm going to another company. Like, look at this Electabuzz. I'm tempted to regrade this. What if I regrade this with, what if I crack this and regrade this at CGC and it has a chance at a 10 or a 9.5 even? Like a 9.5 is better than a 9. So it's just ridiculous. It makes me not want to sell this Electabuzz until it's gone through regrading. The price difference between a 9 and a 10 is gigantuum. Gigantic. Gargantuum? What's the word I'm looking for? So there's an enormous price difference. All right, let's see if we have any orders in the queue. We're going to check the queue now. Lots of talking in the beginning of the stream. We like to do that. We like to talk. We have a conversation with each other. Right now, I'm seeing no orders in the queue. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How are you today? Today, the breaks are Houndoom. Rocket Houndoom is a larger break with 17 spots. It'll take a while. Here is the Lugia break. We saw a lot of movement yesterday on the Lugia break. I think it moved by either 3 or 4 spots. That's some pretty good movement. 14 out of 27 means it's more than halfway done. Here is the Mewtwo Alt-Art. It's the new Master Ball. I don't like this drawing, man. That drawing sucks. This is the new Master Ball break. Maybe I ought to just buy a whole bunch of Master Ball stickers. Would that be nicer? But this is the Master Ball break. It's 1 out of 7. It's an Alt-Art from Sword and Shield. It's printed in 2022. That's an Alt-Art. You know, it's funny. Pokemon Go prices have been really, really going up. But I feel like people do not appreciate that the Pokemon Go set was a nice set. It was a very short set, so people were done with it very quickly. It is. All right. I'm not feeling it today, but need that money for cardboard. Yeah, definitely. When it comes to working a job, nothing gets you working harder than having like a goal, having like a financial goal, having something you want to buy, going, hey, I want to buy that thing. Because that's kind of like the joy of shopping, is getting to go shopping and pick up some new stuff. So if you enjoy shopping, you probably enjoy working. And maybe that describes me a little bit. I like working. I like buying stuff. I like buying a lot of stuff, obviously. And the funny thing is, if you have that personality type, you kind of end up wealthy later in life because you got all this stuff you can sell or stuff you own. We do have an order from Alex Silva. Hello, Alex. How you going? Or how you doing? How you going? How's it going? Alex Silva, may I have 6 Final Fantasy Tears of the Planet? That's the new Final Fantasy set. It does have an Aerith signature in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. PSA sucks so much now. Yeah. The leaders at PSA are making a mistake. I know everyone at PSA probably doesn't agree with the changes, but I believe the leaders at PSA are making a mistake. They need to remember what made their company special, what made their company desirable, why people graded with them and not with CGC and not with Beckett. And instead, they're kind of giving in to a sort of perfectionism, maybe. We appreciate perfect grades. Like if PSA, if they released a perfect 10 grade, that'd be fantastic. I love perfect grade. I think that BGS Black Label is a big deal. I thought it was a huge mistake when CGC gave up their perfect grade. I thought that was a mistake. BGS is a serious player in the card grading community because they've got the Black Label. They're the only company that's doing the Black Label. So they got this huge advantage right now, and I would anticipate that they're going to be in a strong position as a result. All right, what we got? Here's Armstrong. Yeah, BGS, they keep their Black Label. They're going to be in business. Chadley. Seiss. I'm not submitting any more to them. What a complete waste of money. We just know that the next round is going to be a harsh round. You need your card to be a pristine. They don't call it a pristine, but it basically is. You need your card to be a pristine to get a 10. If you need me to do a pre-grade on your card, you can have me do a pre-grade. That always helps. You know, the Cardconomist pre-grade is only $3. It could save you a lot of money in grading. So we do pre-grades. Here's a round of hollows for Alex Silva. I'll still grade with PSA, hoping for a 10 OC grade. It is Alex. I just think if they're going to grade that harsh, call it what it is. Call it pristine. People will pay more for pristine. I want it to say pristine. I want the value of my card. If th're not going to call it pristine, why wouldn't I grade it with like Beckett or CGC? Doesn't make any sense. Here's Alora Goodall, who is very close to losing this bag here. And this box is all the way full. I'll place this over here. Let's take a look at what Alora had. It's 11 months old. Junk hollows, that's getting removed. This is getting removed. So when your bag gets old enough, I remove the hollows. Here it is. If PSA does perfect Black Labels, won't the PSA 10 value drop? That might be why PSA hasn't done that so far. They might be concerned they're going to cannibalize the value of their PSA 10 Gem Mint. But I think if they release a perfect grade, it will not cannibalize their Gem Mint. Because I think people categorize the perfect 10 as a sort of different animal from the Gem Mint. So Gem Mint just says, hey, this is a great card. But the perfect 10 is like this unobtainable thing that only 1 in 10,000 cards gets. You know what I'm saying? So people will categorize it differently as this sort of special grade that is unusual. You know, that's not normal for card printing standards. So no, I don't think it would cannibalize them. I think they lose market share to BGS every day because of the Black Label. And they have to admit that BGS came up with a good idea. Here's Mew. We're ready to start taking pictures of these cards and getting them rotated off of the table and getting new cards up onto the table. Here you are. Storm of Bruin. We got a lot of cards like this one. Golduck's very niche. He has to sell to a Golduck collector. He's pricey. So he's not, no one's going to buy him just because he's cheap. And so he's this rare niche card. So my inventory is getting sky high with stuff like Golduck and Drowsies. People just want the couple cards. They just want Charizard, Gengar, Lugia, Umbreon. And so those cards, you will find that they're going to have a premium on this table until I have a surplus of them. And these cards over here, those are all going to be for sale for cheap. All right. Because I have plenty of these. And no Charizards, no all the most desirable cards, those are all missing. All right. Just binged Dandadan after getting 3 packs from you last night, considering another pack or 2. I wish I knew about their change before I submitted 150 cards in January via bulk submission. That's still not back yet. Yeah, hopefully your grading goes well. I mean, if you sent them really good cards, you'll still get the 10s. And I'm sure I'll still buy PSA 10s because, you know they're going through very harsh grading. They should be called what they are. They're pristines. Think about this. Every certain number of PSA cards eventually includes a BGS Black Label in it. You just don't know it, right? Like if you could test every PSA 10 at BGS, if you could cross-grade everything, a couple Black Labels would be found. So sometimes you buy a PSA 10 that's more than a PSA 10. It's actually a Black Label card sitting in a PSA 10 holder. So isn't that sad? This is why PSA needs to introduce the perfect 10. They do. So does CGC. All companies should have a perfect 10. It makes a lot of sense. People want to know when the card is perfect. It's an unusual grade. It's very rare. But it should exist in all companies. A perfect 10 makes a lot of sense. They don't want to do it because it's probably like a headache to have every card checked for perfect. All right. It's not efficient to check for perfect. Hey, it's Mr. JC. Good evening from the UK. I'm still working. I'd like to buy a box of Dandadan and a packet of X-Men 2025. Here it is. Ow. That was sharp. Here's Dandadan. I'm going to sell out of these Dandadans in like 2 seconds here. We bought a new case of Dandadan. I had two options. I could buy the Dandadan case a little bit cheaper with my supplier, or I could buy Dandadan from an English seller. And because of those scary tariffs, I ended up buying in America. How crazy. That is such an immediate impact from those tariffs. And it makes me how that's going to affect markets around the world. Here's Sauron. Ooh. So these are from the new remake, or the, what would you call them? The sequel to the old 97 X-Men design. Here's Mr. Beast. Previously on X-Men, Executioner. Companies really leaning hard into nostalgia. This is because people want nostalgia. They miss their childhood. Val Cooper. It's all that keeps us going is having these old things. Doing master sets is a waste of time and money, says Michael Bay. Do you have to cross-grading service where they crack the slab for you? Who? You, me? Are you asking if I crack slabs for people? I could. It's just that there's a risk it gets destroyed. So, every now and then cracking a slab goes wrong and you destroy the card inside. Seems like a bad thing. I think if I did it for my own cards, it's fine, because if I ruin a card, I don't have to pay out. I just lose out on the value of the card. If I ruin one of your cards, that would be bad, because then I would owe you something. And so I'd lose a lot of money with that kind of business. You got to watch X-Men 97. It's pretty cool and hits on hard topics for a cartoon. Plus, you'll get that theme song stuck in your head. Yeah, we are. Right now, I'm just playing a little Minecraft with Carrots, and I'm very behind on all of my duties over here. I got a lot of jobs to do over here. I wish I had like a helper who could do them. Okay. Do the grading companies have a cracking? Yeah, they do. It's called a cross grade. It's called a cross grade, and it usually costs like an enormous amount of money. It's not cheap at all. Probably because they also understand the inherent risk of cracking slabs. That's why when we talk about, the tag slabs breaking too easily, I was talking about, well, slabs should be designed to break a little bit, because sometimes you want to upgrade to a new label. Sometimes you want to cross grade. And if a slab is perfectly indestructible, that's not good news for the card inside. So slabs should have some breakability to them. If it's some sort of permanent tomb for your card, that's not going to look good in 10 to 20 years when you're ready to upgrade to a new label. What should really happen is when you're cracking a card, it should be abundantly clear that the slab has been tampered with, so that when you go shopping, oh, there's an SP stamp for JC. JC, I think a lot of people were trying to pull this. Look at that. It's got the red embossing. All right, nice job, man. But people were going real deep on this set last night. But yeah, so, when a slab is tampered with, it should be clear it's been tampered with. But indestructible, no. I don't think indestructible is necessarily a good thing, because people regrade cards all the time. They upgrade to a new slab. What if a new slab technology comes out, right? Like they got computers in slabs now, or some crap like that, chips in slabs. Well, you might want to upgrade your $50,000 card, and it's got to be cracked out of the current slab. So, yeah, indestructible slabs, not such a good idea. You want slabs that can be broken open without damaging the card, but you want it to be clear that it's been tampered with, because that's the other risk, is the authentication. If a company can open the slab and change the card or change the label, that's a big problem. That invalidates the value of the grading. All right, haven't been here in so long. How's it going? It's Candy Vargas. Hello, Candy Vargas. How are you today? Happy Tuesday. It's me, Cardconomist, reliably here all the time. Every single day. It's so rare for me to miss a day. For 6 years, I've done that. Ooh. So here I am hanging out with you. Your good old buddy, old pal, old TCC. Has anyone checked out Premier Card Grading? They have RFID chips, I guess. Nintendo said to keep playing your first Switch if you can't afford the new one. Did they really say that? That's not a good message. They should say, we will do everything we can in our power to keep costs low. That's what they should say, and then just leave it there. If they tell you to basically boycott the Switch by playing the old Switch, it's like telling your customers, I don't need you. JC, it's every business wishes to do that. I think I've felt that pressure too, to be like, well, I don't even need you. It's always a misstep to do that. It's always a fail. If you ever say you don't need your customers, it's sort of like bragging and all that, but not a great move. It might work in some cheeky situations, like maybe if you're a clothing store, like, oh, we don't even want you. You don't deserve to wear our brand. Something like that. Software, no. You need everyone to buy your hardware and everyone to buy your software. Nintendo having their Xbox One, they said it's okay if you're broke. Play your old games, peasant. Nintendo. Yeah, that's not good. That's not the right response. All Nintendo needs to do is not say too much and say, we will do what we can to keep our costs low, and that it's worth it. You're going to love what you get. They should say Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be awesome. We hope you buy one, and we'll do what we can to keep our costs down. All right, here we are. All right. They should do things like mention inflation and talk about how, when you purchase the Switch 2, you support the hard workers at Nintendo and their families. They should say all that kind of stuff. Because it's probably true. Inflation occurred. The cost of living went up. Okay, lovely. My phone has a better screen than the Switch 2. Yeah. Phones are pretty good, though. Phones are pretty advanced these days. Those phone companies are impressive. Finn and Jake. You'll buy it. They'll buy it. They'll buy the slop. More tariffs. Ah, yes. Yes, tariff. Tariff me, daddy. Next up, we have Isidro Sandoval, one Dandadan, and a Waifu Shuffle. All right, the Waifu Shuffles. Where are they? Here they are. That'd be a funny Waifu Shuffle right there, the Chansey. 1, 2, 3. Boom. All right, that's a cold one. One cold card. We got an open box of Dandadan, right? Do we really not have an open box of Dandadan? I'm really surprised if we don't have an open box. It looks like we don't. All right, I got to go get more Dandadan. Low punny should be in the Waifu Shuffle. We did have a poker low punny that we sold for $100 in the Waifu Shuffle. Someone actually pulled it. It's funny as hell, dude. But yeah, that low punny poker card went in. Tariff all my clothing. Nintendo should blame Trump. They should double down and raise the price. More tariffs. Nintendo called me a peasant. I'm pissed. All right. Let's go get Dandadan. Trump! Save us, Donald Trump! All right, very low. Very, very low on Dandadan. Almost gone. Oh, God, I feel another sneeze coming on. It's ridiculous. I've had a sneeze for like a month, dude. Oh, my God. I got to get out of here, man. Life is so worse when you have to sneeze constantly. You're either going to eat or buy Switch. I don't know, man. Oh, my God. The roof of my mouth is so itchy. So you hear me rubbing my tongue on the roof of my mouth to try and scratch it. All right. Must be allergic to the tariffs. China? Dude, 104% tariffs on China. Whew. I think the stock market dipped after that, too. Let's see what's happening. Because it's kind of like a game of chickens going on. All right, so the stocks are down. Let's see. Stocks are down. The S&P 500 VOO stock is down like less than 1%. I mean, that's not... Is it less than... Oh, no. Here it is. Down 1.5%. There it is. I'm so sorry. I got to blow my nose so bad. I got to mute. I got to blow my nose. I'm going to go crazy here. All right, we're back. Speaking of which, I forgot to sell off our crypto. We accepted some crypto from our friend Mr. LaFlame. Yes, crypto's down some percentage today, and that is so unfortunate. It says here, it looks like he was mainly paying in Avalanche and Solana, and it's down 4% and 12%. So that is the risk of using crypto. Big mistake. I'm going to go ahead and sell now. And I have to pay this ridiculous fee when I sell, too. So I probably did not make any money selling to Mr. LaFlame today. I probably lost money because the Solana is down 12%. That's crazy. No. It says today it's down 5%. Oh, okay, it's not that bad. Oh, it says overall I've lost 12% in Solana. So Solana loses me money. Go ahead and sell this. All right. Okay. Okay, there it goes. I have the sniffles very badly. We have the best sniffles like no one's ever seen. All right, cool. Says I've lost 12% in Solana over time. Wow. That is the cost of doing money transfers in crypto is, if you sell at the wrong time, you incur a large cost. So it's tricky. Sometimes the temptation is to sell the crypto right in the middle of the stream. Just grab a cell phone and sell the crypto, so that you're getting what it's worth when you received it. Good time to buy the dip, says Goblin. I'm buying the dip and the chip. All right, let's get this open. Switch 2 is delayed in Canada. Rip. Oh, Canada. Is Trump still wanting Canada to join? I heard that Carney guy, whatever his name is, I heard that guy has like a close relationship with China, and that is kind of controversial. Canada is not joining the U.S. I don't think it will. The problem is, I don't even think the Republicans want Canada to actually join. Canada would flip the United States blue. There's Isidro. All right. 104 tariff on China on the way. Man, that's a lot. Okay. Jesus Aguilera for History of Z. History of Z. Where did we hide it? We have a lot of sets over here, and so it's very easy to lose one because there's so many sets. We ought to put the History of Z up into the Dragon Ball box at this point. We might be getting a fresh box of that too. What's this? That's Open Azure Lane. It's hard to track what we actually have an open box of because, again, there's just so much stuff. I have like 20 sets. So, new box of History of Z. I'll be right back. I swear to God, we had an open box of it. This can't be right. We definitely have an open box of it, right? Maybe not. All right. History of Z. I'll be back, guys. I apologize. Karis moved all my stuff, man, and I can't find it. I know we have it. I know we have History of Z. We did not run out of History of Z. I cannot find it. I'm so sorry, guys. Give me a minute. She cleaned up the storeroom, the stock room, and she shouldn't have because I can't find a damn thing anymore. It's really terrible. I had it all memorized. All right, here we are. Yeah, she cleaned up my storeroom, probably because it looked like a mess. But the problem is I've got everything memorized. And so I've got like 100 product on the menu, and I had to really go look in there. She kind of just shoves it all on the shelf in some way. There we go. Blame the wife. No, it really is. She hit it. She hit it. I told her when I was out there, I said, if you want to organize the stock room, you got to organize by card set so that we know where everything is. All right, there we go. All right, it was hidden, guys. It had boxes stacked on top of it. You ready? Here goes History of Z. Any commies in the stream? There you go. Snipping this. Good. Me. Eat the rich. All right, what do we got? Oh, Son Goku and Bulma, first encounter. Wow, look at that full art. That's really pretty. Very nice. Mister put the back of his to use. What? Gogeta? That's a cool card. I like the way that looks. That looks very gradable because of its full art design. The back of his hand to use, I think you said. That's what you meant to say, huh? Woman. That's Jesus Aguilera. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we're having fun so far, right? How about these bubblegum Mickey Mouse cards? They never sell. I think it's the wrong audience for bubblegum Mickey Mouse. Not enough Disney fans in here. Or maybe it's too experimental, or maybe it's too old. I don't know. I think Disney's in a bad place right now, to be honest. Especially after the Snow White fiasco. I think that the Disney brand is looking pretty bad. They need something to bring it back. They got Lilo and Stitch coming out. I think that one will do okay. Also, did you guys see the trailer for Tron, the new Tron, what's it called? Tron, I can't remember the name of it. There's a new Tron movie coming out. And my favorite artist, and he is my favorite by a lot, 9 Inch Nails is writing the soundtrack to the new Tron movie. Tron, something with an A, right? Imagine grading in this economy, only ramen for you the next few weeks. Nah, they're going to make Stitch gay. You never know, dude. They might actually do that. They might actually make Stitch gay or something like that. But at least you can rely on Lilo and Stitch being Hawaiian because all of the viewers would freak out if you recasted Hawaiians into another race. Here it is. So they will demand very strict adherence to the race for this one. All right. Aries, that's the name. Yes, Tron Aries. Cool name. I like it. Trent's done quite a few soundtracks over the years. Yeah, he has. He's pretty good at it. I like it. I like his soundtracks. I heard a piece of the soundtrack from the trailer that's released. Sounds really good. Sounds just like 9 Inch Nails. Okay, Isidro says through 3 Fujimi Volume 2 and a Waifu Shuffle. You got it. Okay. And a Waifu. Good luck. Pokepot's getting kind of fat. 1, 2, 3. And another Waifu Shuffle. Boom. All right, cold card this time. Jared Leto is such a horrible actor. He's getting pretty old, man. Jared Leto, he's been around. Yeah, he's been in a lot of shows, and people never like him. So he's been cast in it, and I'll probably still watch it just because of the soundtrack, nothing else. If Stitch isn't a black trans man, we riot, says Uganda Knuckles. Here we are. Whoa! Here it is. Hold on there, Mr. Uganda Knuckles. You're sounding kind of racist, transphobic, and, yeah, what a hater. Here we are. Hey, look, it's Freerin. That's Freerin. Okay, and what do we have here? We've got a hollow. Very nice. Bad actor, good singer. I'll never forget that he was that awful version of Joker. I think that kind of changed his image for me. Okay, Isidro. Stitch. Wow, you gay. Fair and not big boobed. Not yet. All right, there we go. Tossing this over here. Tron Ares looks good to me. I've been looking forward to it. Yeah, I think that we watched the trailer, and it seemed a little bit like the concept on it is going to be that the computer system breaks into the real world, which is not a bad idea for a movie or a TV show, because right now you got everybody dealing with, you know, the arrival of AI. Okay, let's see. Gliscor, Lunatone, Ghastly, Zubat. The Ghastly's a solid card. If he was cheaper, he'd probably be sold. All right, he's one of those rare Cardos cards. Did you guys see the new Dominican Republic? The building caved in while a concert was going on. One Mets player and one Dodgers player died. What? Jesus, dude. Dang, dude. It's a legit concept from the previous film, finally realized by a rival system, it looks like. Shane Blalock, just one Dandadan. All right, you got it, Mr. Shane. Let's grab that Dandadan. It is one Dandadan. Hello, mates. So it's crazy. Tossing this away. It's the Waifu Shuffle, only Weiss girls. I'll be happy to show off the Waifu Shuffle once more if you'd like. There it is. Ooh. Did you see they brought back firewolves that went extinct? They didn't truly bring them back, I feel. I read about what they did. They basically just manipulated the DNA of, like, existing wolves. They didn't, like, take old DNA and splice it in, like, directly. Like, it's not a true continuation of the dead bloodline. It's more like we can edit genes to the point where it's pretty similar to what their genes looked like. Okay, Shane Blalock. But it sure is headline catching, isn't it? All right. Shiny's nice. Activates the inner crow. Octavio Dotel was one of the guys who died. He was a great pitcher. That's crazy. Wow. That sucks, man. Probably healthy and young, and you don't think it's your time, and then you're in the wrong building, and it's just collapsed in on you. Jesus. So it's like so dark and crazy. The Waifu Shuffle. Yes, let's take a quick look at that. Very popular. This works just like the Poke Shuffle, but instead of instead of Pokemon cards, it's girl cards, with some exceptions. So here, I was thinking maybe there should be one guy card in the Waifu Shuffle all the time, because it's his harem. Here's Dragon Maid. These were priced a while ago. Their prices might have gone up from now. So that's that was from December. That was a while ago. Heart Hybrid. You'll notice some of these are quite sexy. This is a PSA 10 holographic Hestia. Naked Girls Talk. This is from Sneaker Bunko, which has become an unbelievably expensive set. This is Union Arena. So those are some examples of some pretty salacious cards for the Waifu Shuffle. Here's some more. We've got a Sexy Leia, Sexy Brown Elf Girl, Firestar 9, Blanc. I think this is a pretty nice one from the Nikkei collection. Nikkei cards just seem to be going for a lot of money these days. Okay, here's an actual Pokemon card trainer. All right, we got a couple more back here. That was a Pokemon card you saw. Mister, you seen the trailer for the new South Park season? I have not seen that. I'm going to watch that really soon. There you go. We need more waifu cards. I've got some waifu cards grading, especially, you know, I've traded some cards, obviously, with Mr. Brandon. So Brandon has fueled my girl cards a little bit. So we'll have more stuff coming in that waifu shuffle. The state it's in right now, there's no signatures in the box, but it's really not bad. There's some high-quality, sexy girl cards graded 10 in there. So I don't think that's so bad. Here's another Disney poker card. I'll donate that to the Pokepot right now. We'll keep it a secret. These girls look too old, says Muhammad. Muhammad, I know you're one of the 68 people in here. I wonder who you are, man. I know you're a troll. Who are you, I wonder? All right, let's see. Now I know you could be Alex. I don't think you're Alex. You could be Mike's side. I don't think you're Mike's side. Who could you be? Who would go through all the trouble? I'm not sure. All right. These girls look too old. So here it is. This is the Pokepot. You can donate a card to the Pokepot and have a roll of the dice. Just a way to get rid of some of your junk. And have a chance to pick up some junk. What's fun is, you know, if you pick up some junk cards like this, you could actually use them to keep donating to the Pokepot. 68 people. It says 68 people on the stream. Is that right? That's not a lot of people. It is. It's probably Cheese or Mary. Okay, there's Pokepot. Let's see. It's definitely troll behavior. Dylan Chan. 2 Japanese Terror Festival packs. All right, Dylan Chan. Well, Dylan, you will need to wait a minute because I am going to have to do something I haven't done in a long time, which is I have to go get a new box of the Terror Festival Japanese. I haven't had to do... Wait, is that this right here? What's this? Ah, that's this right here. Perfect. We had it next to us all along. Quality over quantity, sir. It's like you said in the first few minutes. Here we are. Ta-da! In many TCG worlds, what do you think has the best art and feeling? Oh, Pokemon. I don't know. Here we are. It says 95 for me. You see 95 people in the room? Wow. Weird. Okay. Rice Teas GC, but it flopped. How much are your Tarot Festival Japanese boater boxes? You want some boater boxes? Yeehaw! We're going boating, boys! We have prices listed in the menu, which is in the description. It is. I actually haven't repriced Terror Festival in a while. I wonder if prices are rising or falling. I imagine they're rising because of the tariffs. Right? Like a sudden 30% price increase to importing these cards. They should all be more expensive. Wow, 226 views. Nah, he's lying. Here's Monkey Dory. He's messing with us. There we go. All right. Pokemon art is really nice, but I feel like that's been tainted by many fans just hunting for the perfect 10. Tainted. Real eyes, real lies, real lies. Okay. Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate it. There you go, Dylan. Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo. That was Dylan. We have an order now from Jesus Aguilera. He says, Lugia Break, can you put the Son Goku and Bulma card in a top loader? Yes, sir. All right. Lugia Break. Buster lost his hand to a loose seal. That's Arrested Development, huh? All right, so this goes in the Lugia Break. Let's grab that Lugia Break. Here it is. Lugia Break on top, everybody. It's moved by another spot. There's There's energy behind the Lugia break. That's where the hype is. The Lugia break is moving the fastest. Lugia break at 15 spots. YouTube likes when you hit the like button. Hey, mister, it's been a while. Will you be getting any Tarkir Dragonstorm? Vicente Gonzalez. I was just looking at that yesterday saying, I'm not going to get it this time. Do you do you think that's a mistake? Should I have gotten some? Thing is, I buy these Magic cards, and sometimes they sell really well. Sometimes they just sit there, and it's an awful lot of money. But, yeah, I don't know. I hit the like button, sir. Nice. I mean, it's another thing to put on the menu, I guess. Here's a problem. I feel like two people who were reliably buying the Magic cards were Jen and Brandon, and I think they've both taken a break. So my brain's telling me I don't know what my Magic customers look like. Seems to be a popular set. Tarkir is apparently a good set, and everyone was not buying it. Yes. Okay, so you're saying Tarkir is good? I mean, if you're asking about it, that's usually the sign to go ahead and buy it. So let me go look this up. I think LGS underordered. What I like to do, I like to buy about one case of the collector packs. That's how I like to do it. Scooby-dooby-dooby. I like this music we're playing. It's a nice break from other songs. I wasted $10K on that stupid game over the years. I will get the SpongeBob and other collabs. Yeah. Need some reggae. Yeah, we're going to get some reggae. Oh, wow. The price on it has shifted in one day. Can you guys believe that? The price on this set has shifted in a single day. All right, so let me look at this one more time then. Man, that ain't right, man. I guess we'll just buy at the higher price. Okay. It didn't go up dramatically. And let me check my account real fast. Getting a case of these is really expensive. The Final Fantasy Magic set will sell like crazy in this room. I think it'll do pretty good. But don't forget this. Price is a real dampener. It really suppresses the movement of the product. So if it's overpriced, it doesn't matter how popular Magic is or how popular, how popular Final Fantasy is with us. It's just not going to sell. So price really matters. All right, here we go. We've got a price. It's 18 packs in these collector boxes, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, I take that back. It's 12 packs. Is that right? That's really expensive. I don't know what to say. That's really, really expensive. It's already way overpriced. You're saying the Tarkir is already way overpriced? That's not good. I hope to God it sells. Oh, you're talking about the other sets way overpriced. Yeah, we just took a big gamble on this set. Well, let me click on this real fast. What was the latest set? Was this also 12 packs? Yeah, 12. So it's always 12. So the collector boxes are always 12. All right, so now I get to do some math and decide on a price. Are you ready for this? So, I already paid for this, right? Let me hit refresh. You're talking about the Final Fantasy. I'll wait till it gets closer to launch, because I don't know. I like Final Fantasy, but I don't really understand why it would be extremely overpriced. It's not in that category of being super duper overpriced, in my opinion. It's not at that level. Divided by 6, divided by 12. Yikes! And what's our price on the most expensive Magic the Gathering collector pack right now? The most expensive collector pack is... Well, Gathering Foundations was 50. We're actually going to drop Gathering Foundations right now by 10%. It's going to go to 45. So Gathering Foundations is now 45. We don't sell much of that. Tarkir, Dragonstorm or something like that. And Tarkir is going to come out at looks like we're going to be doing $40 a pack. All right, so it's a pricey one. Yeah, that one's hella pricey. There it is. Tarkir Dragonstorm is on the menu as a pre-sale. All right, close all these. It's hard to do math and type and talk. Tarkir, Aether Drift, Innistrad, Gathering Foundation, Duskmourn, Fallout, Doctor Who, and Lord of the Rings. We're sitting on an awful lot of Magic. But Magic sells, man. Sometimes Magic just suddenly sells a lot on this stream, and yeah, it's not terrible. It hasn't been terrible to me. Foundations is a great set. Foundations just got cheaper. All right, here goes. My job is to get the next oldest order done. Chenseg Vong orders a Waifu Shuffle. So some about the Waifu Shuffle still get you guys excited at night, because these Waifu Shuffles have been selling. MTG pack breaks? That's an interesting idea. We've done that before. Oh, look at you pulling Sabrina. Nice, dude. All right, Sabrina's been pulled. Probably not the top pull in the set. Number 109, that's a good one. That's a pricey one. So that's the Tag Bolt Sabrina. Okay. Good. Mr. Knows Magic. Well, what really surprised me is that the collector sets really went up in value over time. Especially, they've got these serialized numbered cards in them now. And I like the Magic Company. I don't always agree with their kind of like the messaging in their card game. You know, they get some of that same problem Disney has, but I like that they're such an old set and they have a clearly a very large following that plays the game. So that's pretty impressive. Okay, so Dylan, you ordered that 8 minutes ago. How long ago did this person wait? This was 7 minutes ago, so it is actually your turn first. Dylan Chan, 2 Terra Festivals. 2 good chases are left in the shuffle. Speaking of good pulls, we got to keep an eye out on the table for anything that can go in that Poke Shuffle, because we are famished for stuff. Ultimately, what happens in the Poke Shuffles and the live customs, when I run out of good slabs, what starts going in there is like vintage booster packs or like booster boxes, stuff like that starts going in. All right, so we never really run out of stuff. Wow, nice Master Ball. Master Ball Leafeon. Okay. That's for Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. Okay. I love grass types. There we go. Javier Arroyo's here. He says 2 Korean Terra Festivals. All right. The Korean Terra Festivals are the same product, but they're cheaper. You get like almost more than double the product for the same price. All right, here goes. Different language, though. Prismatic and Terra Festival are hot. We've been selling tons of Prismatic And clearly, Terra Festival is still in people's sights. Oh, okay, we got a trainer card this time. So that's Javier. Thank you. What should I do after the stream, guys? Tell me what to do for my day to have fun. Okay, Javier Royal. You forgot my top loader. Oh, right. You had a portion of your order where you wanted it in a top loader. Give me a second here. My bad. That's my fault. All right, let's get that top loader set up. Top loader time. Grabbing this. Smooch the wife. All right, there's Son Goku. All right. Let's go ahead and top loader this. Good. Okay. Very good. And we'll just place this right back up into this yellow box. Perfect. Okay, now we have Mike's side. Put me on the Lugia. Oh, Mike's side's going in. It's a good break. Can I send PSA submissions and top loaders? Hey, it's Ben Franklin. Yeah, you can do that. They don't tell you to do it because they prefer the semi-rigids. I'm semi-rigid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're actually on 16. So the Lugia is not at 15. It is at 16. Lugia creeps closer to the end. He's a high-quality, high-stakes card. All right. Good. What else do we got? It looks like we're caught up on orders. How late have we gone? An hour and 10 minutes. So Tuesdays are traditionally slow days for us. Silver Umbreon says, hey, chat. Hey, what's up, man? All right, what we got? We got Mount Doom. We got Giratina. Giratina's a nice card, but he's an 8, so I don't like the idea of putting too many 8s or too many 9s in the Poke Shuffle. What we need is a 10. We need a cheap 10, but the problem is the Poke Shuffle, not just the Poke Shuffle, but you guys as well, you eat all the cheap 10s. So I don't have enough left over. Here's a cheap 10 Magneton, but it's Magneton. Here's a $125 10. Yeah, I'm out of cards that are just right for the Poke Shuffle, and I'm trying not to completely overload it with like 8s and 9s because I feel like you got to have like a 1-to-1. Like for every 10 there's an 8, for every 10 there's a 9. You can't just have it be like 5 8s, 5 9s, and 1 10. That's no good of a feeling with the Poke Shuffle. Same with the live customs. So I try to do a mix, obviously. But I try to have the mix be very tasteful, right? So there's some hot in there coming around soon. Get you engaged with it. You're excited to see what's coming out next. Can you add that Mount Doom to my slab away? It's a really cheap card. Would you be interested in just buying that one outright? The slab away is really not meant for cards this cheap. All right. I'll put this up on the table. So he's a $30 one. And I would love to just get him and keep them out of that box. Keep them out of the, oops, looks like we have two fresh orders. I'd love to keep them out of the slab away box. Last 6 packs of the Japanese Terra Festival. Probably smart move there, Dylan, because if you didn't do that, I can almost guarantee you Hathim was about to do that. He just wasn't watching. Hathim's pretty fiendish. If you leave a box like this up on the table, he'll notice, and then he'll be like, give me that box. All right, ready? Dylan Chan. I'm not kidding. He pays attention. It's like a skill. You can actually get you can develop some skill in a rip and ship channel by watching and noticing things like, hey, wait a second. That's a loaded box. Okay, here's a Sylveon. Oh, okay. I would do the same thing. Oh, sure. Here's a Magneton. Uh-huh. Here's Urkel. Oh, I mean Petulant. I love a tasteful mix. Once I pay off some of my debt, I can purchase cards again. Hey, sounds good, man. That's good of you to be responsible like that. Oh, no, an Ogre Pond box. That's everyone's nightmare. I'm sorry, dude. All right. That's all part of it, too. It would have been better to have them buy this box, but you didn't know. It's like when you're playing poker and they're flipping over the cards on the table, and then suddenly your opponent gets the card they want, or you don't get the card that you need. Here we are. It just sucks, man. That's the RNG of opening cards. Got COVID masked. Oh, no. Remember the old live custom system? Well, the old live customs felt very different. It wasn't really any different. The way I loaded them was exactly the same. But what was different back then is we didn't have the Poke Shuffle, and we had more viewers back then, actually. Our streams would pretty consistently reach around 200 viewers. That's because there was no whatnot. We had no competitor. There was just no competitors. So we had 0 competitors, and there would be like this ridiculous, like hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. I'm saying 3 hour wait line. That was a real thing. There was like a 3 hour wait line on this stream because there was no competition. And you would buy a live custom, and you wouldn't know what you pulled for like an hour or two later. And because of that, everyone felt that it felt very random. You couldn't snipe it because you couldn't time it. There was no way to time it because of those long wait times. There were downsides to that too. Like, who wants to wait freaking 1 whole hour to see the outcome of their pack purchase? It's just no good, right? If I was smarter back then, I would have hired somebody sooner to run like a sister channel to just keep the stream running. If I'd been more of an entrepreneur, if I'd worked harder at it, because the demand for the product was so severe. And the other thing I would have done different, I would have graded in larger quantities to have more slabs ready, and I would have worked harder on sourcing my cards earlier. Back then, I was probably just so busy with operating the stream, I didn't work as hard on that. Here we are. You used to pay to jump the line. Look at this. Yeah, I did my best as one person. I was just one person, you know. It's the demand for Pokemon cards outstrips one person. Here it is, Dylan Chan. So I think, you know, I got myself out there, and I did everything I could do within my means, and maybe somebody smarter than me would have done a little bit better. Or a lot better, who knows. But I did what I could, and I'm pretty happy with where I'm at nowadays. What about a reach around stream? I don't know. Okay, we have an order from Matthew. Oh, it did not load properly. Let's hit refresh. Master Ball Leafeon makes it better. Oh, that's right. Master Ball Leafeon was at the start of the box. One spot in the Lugia, Matthew Hill. Here it is. I remember I had an absolute meltdown on the day that we had to change payment systems, because up to a certain point, we were taking all of our payments through Streamlabs. Streamlabs was effectively a pay gate for us. And then one day they just banned my account. They said, you can't do that. You can't use this as a pay gate. And I was like, oh my God. Because we were more than a year deep in, and I'd built the whole store around everyone using Streamlabs to pay for their goods. And you'd go live, and the Streamlabs robot lady would just go off over and over again. From people placing orders, you would hear their orders spoken out loud. It was really fun because you'd hear the orders pour in. It was like this really exciting thing. You could hear the party going off. And then just one day we just had to suddenly pivot. We ended up doing PayPal. PayPal was the pivot. I said, okay, let's do the order straight from PayPal. So that was a big change back then. Andy Dirksen for the Mount Doom. All right, here you go, Mr. Andy. Okay. Thank you. All right. We have an order from Harley Cunningham. Can I have 2 packs of the Nikkei? Yes, Nikkei. Where did I put those? Here they are. Here you go, Harley. Oops. Okay. Nowadays we get about 5 hours to 6 hours of streaming done every day, and we fill out the whole stream with orders. We have our really cool feeling and really cool community going. It's a more permanent community that hangs out really consistently, and it's just a really nice thing. So I get to say hi to the same people every day. There it is. Back then, that was another thing. Every single day, we had like brand new people buying from us. People I'd never met or seen before would come in and buy. And then they'd go. They'd just leave. So we had a lot of turnover, really rapid turnover. Now I think people go, okay, this is the place I like to hang out at. And they stick around for a much longer period. So they kind of pick their favorite flavor of rip and ship. All right, here it is. Very nice. We'll pop this back up here. Oh, I can hear a boat. Somebody is out in the water. All right, we've been live for a nice hour and 15 minutes. It's 5:40 p.m. in the day. We just ran out of orders. I think for a Tuesday, that's pretty good. I think we wrap up right here. Yesterday, we ran for 2 hours, of course. Yesterday was crazy busy, man, because we ran the nighttime stream, and that ran for 4 hours, too, so we were just crazy busy. We'll be live tonight for the Tuesday stream, hopefully around 12:30. Yesterday, we started at 1:30 a.m., That's the late night stream. It just starts really late at night. But I'm going to go hang out with Karis. I think she's pretty bored from her job. So we'll probably get her some snacks. And I don't know, maybe we'll go walking or play some video games. Bye, guys. See you all tonight. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do, too. So I'll probably get some of that work done if I can. See you later, guys. Is Alexis fired? No, I hope she sticks around as long as possible. She is moving to California in June. And I have a guy named Cameron I'm talking to who might become the new person who works with me. He's already come over one time, and I've already met him. All right, guys, I'm hopping off. See you later.